Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Gambit from the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Gambit in the front window, the X-Men logo there, the Gambit name, we get the Caliban Build-A-Figure logo at the top along with the X logo at the very top. We get some artwork here on the side, and it's the same on both sides and then expanded on the back. Very cool artwork, I like it. And then we have all the other figures here needed in this wave to complete the Caliban Build-A-Figure, and we do have the read-up. Remy LeBeau is an ex-thief from Nolans with the mutant ability to convert energy and cause objects to explode. And down here at the bottom, we have the UPC code if you want to check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Gambit. And here is Gambit outside of his packaging, and very excited for this figure. I am just loving all these X-Men figures that we're getting, especially with all these classic looks for them. This is definitely the era that I grew up with as far as the design and just the overall look and feel of the teams that we're getting to build right now. And I'm loving that Hasbro has been showing so much love to X-Men. These past, year and a half, 2 years, give or take, that we started really seeing some pickup here. And yeah, this is just awesome. I always loved Gambit. He was one of my favorite X-Men from the animated series. So yeah, just I know I'm sounding a little nerdy here right now, but very, very cool. When standing straight up, this figure is coming in at about 6 5/8 inches tall, which puts him at about 16.8 centimeters. He does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but we do get some very cool accessories. So let's get a better look at those accessories, and then we'll get a better look at Gambit. And looking at the accessories package with Gambit, so we start off here, he has his metal staff, which is nothing too crazy. It is just a silver molded staff. So, yeah, I mean, you do have, of course, these little notches here throughout that even intervals, but, I mean, it's a metal staff, so it's okay that it's rather plain looking. I'm not too upset about that. Looking at his card effect, I do wish that we had a little bit more detail in that. So it is very cool looking, don't get me wrong. I love the energy effect coming off, and you can tell that it's supposed to be a plain card if you know the character, but if you didn't know the character, you might not be too sure of what it is that he's holding. So it would have been neat if we had some sort of more detailing in there. To just show that it was a plain card. And then the hand that does come with Gambit that is on there has his 2 fingers, and then you can, of course, just put the plain card in there, and that is probably going to be the most common pose that I think a lot of us, or at least that's going to be what I use, because I like that kind of charged look. And then last, we do get the throwing effect, which is really cool, but again, we just get some plain rectangles. It would have been cool if we had some sort of effect, but we get a little bit of a swoosh here, kind of indicating that he is flinging them out. And then you get the open hand. And then one thing to note, you don't get any kind of hinge or anything with this hand, so it's only going to go straight out. And then you can see by looking at the peg, it was all molded in this translucent plastic, and then you have the paint on there, which isn't too bad, but you do have a few spots there where it's missed, so you have some of that effect kind of coming through there. So, but that is just going to port in just like any other hand on the figure. There we go. And then yeah, you get that throwing effect, which is pretty cool looking. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a better look now at Gambit. And getting up close with this head sculpt, we can see a really well executed sculpt. I like it a lot, and some of the things that I really like about it, I love the subtle hint of paint there for his mustache and goatee, just giving him that look of stubble. I think that is fantastic. His eyes came out looking really well done. We get those dark red pupils, although I will say it looks like maybe on mine the eyes came out a little too high for the mold. What do you think? Does it look like maybe the paint's supposed to be a little bit lower? I think so, maybe even a little bit thicker. But still a really well executed head sculpt. The hair looks really cool. I like this. We get some subtle hints of shading in there as well. So I like that. Very well done. And yeah, just a good looking head sculpt in all honesty. We do get a jacket that we've seen several times before, although I will say it feels like it's a little bit more flexible and softer, but it doesn't really help with the articulation still though. But yeah, the jacket still looks good, and I mean it fits the character for sure. We get this very cool tone here on the chest, a metallic looking pink. I like that. Looks like maybe a little bit of a scrape there, though, at his belt. Yeah, oh well. But yeah, the blue piece here at the top, and you can see there's some subtle painting in there as well. It's not so much a wash or a dry brushing. It's actually that, little pixelated paint, but still looks really cool. I like that. And then I believe these are new arms. I could be mistaken, but they definitely aren't the arms that we saw with like Spider-Man Noir, because those had a little bit more of a pointed shoulder. So they are some new arms, and it's got some new articulation, or at least articulation I don't recall seeing. So going down to the legs, they look very cool. We get the pink lines again going down, and I love that we actually get a pink peg there. I mean, yes, that means you have a pink peg on the inside, but I feel like I would rather have that in all honesty, and it's easier if I wanted to just put a Sharpie or something over that to cover it up. So yeah, that's fine. And then the boots came out looking very cool, that metallic blue. You get the peg holes at the bottom. Yeah, very cool looking overall. I really like it. Looking at the articulation, so one thing I will note on mine, this head is very loose on the ball joint. It's not the hinge, it's the head itself. I feel like the port on the head is a little too large for the ball joint, so there is that. But he can turn side to side, but his chin is going to hit the collar. He can look down a pretty fair amount. He can look up, not too bad, but he is going to get hindered by that collar. His arms do come up a pretty fair amount, and you do have full rotation. You do have a bicep swivel. You do get a pretty deep cut, but it is only a single jointed hinge, so that's all we got there. And then on this wrist, you do have rotation, and I looked up the official terms. So we get a flexion? No. Man. I looked up the official terms, but we get an extension, and I think it was flexion. Maybe not. I can't remember. And then on this side, we get a ulnar deviation and a radial deviation. Yeah, I looked up that term because I wanted to know how that works. So that is what that is called. Yeah, that's fun. But then we have a, not bad nab crunch that can go quite a ways there. Not too far back, though. We are hindered by the jacket. You do have rotation at the waist. We have legs that can come apart. Not too far. He can kick forward pretty good, straight out. He does have a bicep, or I already mentioned the bicep. He has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, and it can go in pretty deep. And then he does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And, a boot cut as well. And of course, I couldn't finish this review without showing the entire X-Men blue team standing next to each other, now that we have Jubilee, Beast, and Gambit to finish it off. And finally, here we have the entire wave next to each other. We have Beast and Blink, Skullbuster, Jubilee and Weapon X in front of the Caliban Build-A-Figure, and then Gambit and Forge. And that about does it for this review, everyone. So overall, like many figures in this wave, if you're building that 90s X-Men collection or just an X-Men collection in general, this is a must-have. So aside from that loose head, which I'm not sure if that is limited to just my figure or not, which actually let me know in the comments. Did your Gambit, if you got him already, have a loose head the way I showed mine? Or was it normal? Maybe I'll reach out to Hasbro on that. But again, he is a necessity for the 90s collector. And actually, as I was posing him for this last shot, I was pleasantly surprised that you can actually get some good poses here where you can adjust his legs and you have sort of his coat looking more like it's sweeping in the wind. So there are some opportunities for some pretty cool poses. But anyway, as I said, that is it for the review. So make sure to hit that like button if you like this review. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. And aside from that, thanks for watching my video and have a great day.